can't quite believe I'm saying this, guys. That rod's only been in the water half an hour. And this fish is £43.12. It is 20 to 11 and I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but I've had another fish. And it's the second 40 of the trip. Blown away. You may know, if you subscribe to the channel or follow me on social media, that last year I was asked to do some promotional work for Swan Valley Lake in Yateley. This 9-acre water has a stock that is hard to believe, with around 15 £40 carp and 50 plus £30 carp. It's an unbelievable prospect for the big fish angler. However, these fish don't give themselves up easily, and you may have seen my last video here was not successful. Part of my work for the lake has meant several trips up filming, but also fishing in between overnight, and so far I have struggled to work the place out, and no fish have come my way. I came for the netting in February, and what I saw truly blew me away, and the fire was well and truly lit for a spring session. The owner, Paul, invited me up for a session recently, and having seen what's been getting caught over the last few weeks on social media, I couldn't wait to wet a line. It was also a good opportunity to get some good shots of the lake for the new website. I'd spent 2 nights on the bank already filming with Jag at Elstow, and energy levels were low, having struggled to sleep in anticipation of the session. Would I find the fish? Would I get a good swim? Would this be another disappointing session? Little did I know I was about to experience a session to remember, and a buzz that will stay with me for a very long time. Right guys, I've just turned up at Swan Valley and it's absolutely heaving it down outside, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to film loads and loads of me kind of walking around finding a swim and everything, but I'm just going to put some waterproofs on now and go for a bit of a walk around and see if I can find some fish, chat to some of the people that are leaving and try and get in a good swim and everything. So I'm excited to be back. I've not fished here since November. I came here for like the netting and everything in the winter when it was snowing, but I've not actually wet a line here for about 6 months, 7 months almost now. I can't believe how quick that time's gone. But yeah, I'm going to be finding a swim hopefully, and hopefully finding some fish in that swim and get some spots and everything. So I'm going to get sorted and I'll catch up to you guys when I know what we're doing. Right, well, luckily that didn't take too long. I just did one lap of the lake and I talked to a couple of people, and it was actually getting really busy. You know, I sort of arrived about 11, and that's when people are coming off, new people are coming on. And, you know, unfortunately for me, a lot of people had got here a little bit earlier and managed to get in a lot of the swims where the fish had been seen and stuff. So what I've decided to do is go on the sort of island part of the lake in a swim called the Private. And this is a swim that my friend Tom fished when we were here once, and we saw fish coming really close in undie rod tips, and it's quite a sort of small intimate swim, but the fish do like the margins along here. And I've got overhanging trees to my right and left, and I know there's a bar, like a spit, that comes out into the lake on my left hand side as well. So there's plenty of features and there's fish about. I've actually just been watching in the margins for a couple of minutes, and I saw what looked like a 30-pound common come really close in, and it's only probably 3 foot of water there, but gin clear water as well. And I saw this fish and I thought, that's enough for me. You know, I've seen a fish and I know it's clear because I can see the bottom, so it's almost going to be like a stalking swim really. But I am going to be doing 2 days on here, but I'm going to be keeping everything well back from the lake, and even my rods are going to be fairly far back as well, so it might look a bit weird, but I don't want really my rod tips overhanging the lake and giving away my presence to the fish when they come through here. And a lot of people are turning up, casting out in the middle, like splashing leads and spoms about, and I'm just going to put 1 scoop of bait out in the margins really, on 1 rod anyway, and just a little wafter, and just hope that those fish that are passing through under the trees and everything, hopefully they're just going to want a little couple of mouthfuls and hook themselves. You know, that's the plan anyway. So I'm going to keep watching for a little bit longer and just sort of make my move when I feel the time is right. You know, when the fish are maybe not here as much and it's a bit quieter, I'll try and sneak a couple of rods out and hope that the fish come back in either this evening or tomorrow morning, and hopefully we've got a chance of a take. So I'm really only sort of scratching for a bite on this session, because I think that it's a mistake to think in a short couple of nights session, it's a mistake to think you're going to absolutely empty the lake, you know, and 1 fish is better than no fish. So I'm just going to be fishing for a bite in the hope that I can trick a fish to just have a mouthful and get caught really, and then I can build on it from there, and hopefully, you know, something else will happen after that. But I don't feel I need to put loads of bait out, and where it's fairly shallow, I think the coots and things are going to see it and start giving me problems. So I'm just going to stick to minimal baiting, simple rigs, which I will show you in a bit, and yeah, see what the rest of the session brings, guys. So really excited to be here, Swan Valley in Yateley. You would have seen my video that I did here before, and if you follow my channel, you know that I do a bit of work for these guys. The sort of promotional videos, I filmed their lake netting video that they did here, and you know, hopefully going to be doing a bit of work whilst I'm here as well, and taking some photos around the lake and stuff. But it is all about trying to catch a fish as well on this session, so I'm going to be doing everything I can to do that, and I'm going to be showing you guys what I'm doing. So I'll talk you through my bait in a bit and my rigs, and then I'll try and show you the spot, and if we're lucky we might even get a couple of carp on camera as well. So hopefully we're going to have a good session, guys. Stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch up to you in a bit. Right guys, so I've got my little margin rig tied up now. Hopefully you can see that there. Basically what I've got is a size 4 curve shank hook, and that's on a bit of supple braid. It's a new stuff from Angling Iron that I'm trying out, and there's a hook ring swivel on the shank with a little stopper, so that's just a little wafter rig, and the hook drops down like that, and obviously it can slide when the fish tries to eject it as well. But the hook bait is a Vitamino wafter that's just been trimmed down to look a bit more, less like a boilie really, a bit more sort of natural, like pellet and chops that I'm putting out there. Supple braid, and that's an Albright knot there, tying the boom section to the supple braid with a bit of putty on it. And then this is 20-pound amnesia, which is kind of semi-stiff. Should hopefully just kick it away from the lead. So that's all I've got. It's very simple, you know, knotless knot there, a swivel on the shank, and a wafter, and a bit of a combi rig. And that's going to be going out with the baiting spoon and a mixture of particles and things that I'm going to show you next. Right, it's just started raining again, guys. It's pretty on and off at the moment, but I just thought I'd run you through my bait mix that I'm using. So that's what it looks like there, and as you can see, it's a real mixture of different sizes. What I've got in there is some Cheshire Particles micro mix with some Cheshire Particles hemp and maples as well mixed in, and then what I've added to that is those little red boilies you can see in there. That's the Amino Marine 10mm from Pure Bait Concepts, and then I've got some Vitamino boilie crumb and some whole 15mm Vitamino as well. And to that I've added some Pure Marine extract, which is a really nice salty sort of fishy liquid, which really boosts the bait. Salt at this time of year is great when the fish are getting ready for spawning, and I feel like there's nothing too bright in there which is going to alarm the fish. It's just a nice little sort of dark bed of bait with the odd little bit of colour, but the gravel spot's actually quite light out there, so they should blend in quite nice, and it's just going to bring them in on the smell hopefully. So I've got one scoop with the baiting pole out there at the moment, just on its own with no rig, and yeah, I'm just waiting for my moment to get the rig in really. And I've also decided on another spot for my left-hand rod for tonight, which is along my left-hand margin. I remember when the lake was drained down, when they did the netting, there was a really nice spot, which I'll try and show you on the drone footage from then, where the sort of spit comes out and meets the bank. There's like a bit where it goes in and it's really clear under the trees, nice gravelly slope there, and I've just had a look and I could see fish coming up the slope as well over that spot. So I'm going to keep the zig on for today, and then tonight, just before it gets dark really, I'm going to put my baiting pole under the trees on the left and fish one rod there, and then my other rod's going to go under the trees on the right, and hopefully during the night or tomorrow morning we'll have a good chance of catching a fish. So while it's raining, I'm just going to bring the camera in a little bit more under the bivvy and sit tight and wait for the right time to do it. Right guys, there's been a bit of a progression from last time. You might hear it's still raining, but it has been on and off, and I've been able to get up the tree and watch the spot off to the right there underneath the branches, and I have just been watching fish feeding on the spot. There's a real mixture of sizes. There's a couple of smaller ones. I actually managed to get a small comment on the GoPro as it was sort of swimming up the shelf, which I'll show you. And but there's a big ghosty down there. It looks sort of 30 pound, maybe ghosty common, and you can see it because it's obviously quite pale looking. You can see that down on the spot where I put that bait earlier. And then there's a few other fish milling around, you know, commons and mirrors. It's a bit tricky because I don't want to sort of put the rig in on top of them feeding. So I'm just watching it really at the moment and seeing what happens, and I'm hoping that maybe they drift off a little bit. We'll get a break in the weather where I can get the rods out, and I'll be in with a chance. But at the moment it's looking really good. I wish I could show you a bit more of my swim and stuff, but with so many fish coming in so close, and the weather being really bad, I didn't really want to get the camera out outside the bivvy really, but I am going to show you in a minute. I think the rain's just about dropped off, so yeah, I'll show you kind of the swim. I've got to stay quite far back from the water just so I don't spook the fish because they are all in really close, but it's quite exciting really. I've just been watching them, you know, for the last few hours really, and I've managed to get them feeding now as well, so hopefully if I can get a rig in the water I should be able to get a bite fairly quickly, so stay tuned. Yeah, so I'm going to just
So I'll just try and show you a little bit more of the swim now.
Right, so as you can see, it's stopped raining now, although there's quite a lot of water still falling down from the trees, so it might sound like it's raining a little bit. But yeah, this is my swim. This is the private swim at Swan Valley, which is kind of on the end of the island, but in the main lake still. And to my right, which is over here, there's overhanging trees, as you can see, and sort of just over here is a glowing sort of gravel spot. And I've been up the tree sort of that way, looking down on the spot here and seeing fish, like I said, and I've given them a bit of food with the baiting pole, just like half a scoop really, but it's all sort of small particles, so it takes them a while to clear it up. And I've been watching them feeding, so I've now just got to think with my baiting pole how I'm going to get a rod sort of underneath that tree and over sort of here to the spot. It's going to be quite tricky, I think. Might have to get in the water with my waders on, I suppose. And then my other rod is going to be going off to the left, so around over this way there's another overhanging tree, and I remember from when the lake was drained, well, there's one just showed over there, just on the end of the tree. You might just see the tail end of the ripples there. There's plenty of fish about, guys. But yeah, from the drone footage when the lake was drained, I remember that over here you get like the bottom of the marginal slope there, and then over here there's a spit that comes out that goes into sort of in between this swim and Island 3, which is next door. The spit sort of comes out there and goes around, and kind of just here is like the corner where it goes, and I'm seeing fish sort of coming up here and sort of up the slope there and going along the margins and stuff. But I figured a spot about here would be quite good, where the fish are coming up this slope from the open water, and they're quite close to the bottom, and I feel like a little patch of bait there might do me a bite as well. So I've got a couple of options for rods, so I figured I might try and get 2 rods out on the bottom now, and everything will be set then for the night. So yeah, stay with it, guys. I'm going to try and get these rods out, and then hopefully we'll have a fish before it gets dark. But you know, you never know. It is Swan Valley. It's not the easiest lake in the world, but when you've got fish in your margins like this, it does feel like something could happen. Right, guys, you might be able to work out what's going on there. That right hand rod that you saw me putting out on that spot under the trees there, it's only been out half an hour, and we've got one in the net, and it is massive. My first Yateley carp, my first carp from Swan Valley. I'm absolutely over the moon, so I'm just going to get it out and weigh it and stuff, and then I'll show it to you guys. Woohoo, happy days. I can't quite believe I'm saying this, guys. That rod's only been in the water half an hour, and this fish is £43.12. I think, apart from one fish in France, it's the biggest fish I've had on my YouTube channel, and I've only had the rod in the water for half an hour, so it just shows you a bit of preparation, getting some bait on the spot and getting the fish rooting. And it's paid off. I might go take my coat off actually. Right, I can tell this is going to be tricky to lift because of the shape of it. There we go, guys. It's a bit lively still, so I won't keep it out long. There we go, £43, 12 ounces of Yateley mirror. I can't believe it, I'm lost for words. Right guys, we're losing the light now, so I'm just filming this on my GoPro because it seems to work better in low light than my main camera, and it's still quite wet out here and everything, but I just thought I'd say, you know, we're coming into the evening, it's getting dark, so probably won't be filming much more today, but yeah, absolutely buzzing to have had that fish. £43.12, that's my second biggest UK fish, I can't quite believe it. And the rod was only in the water for half an hour, so just shows you a little bit of prep work with the bait and getting the fish on the munch, you know, and then sneaking the rig in at the right time. It's just paid off. On that Vitamino wafter trimmed down, it just looks like nothing on the bottom, you know. I haven't put anything bright on there to sort of make it stand out. I've just fished bit of particle and some crumb and a few boilies, and then a little wafter over the top, and I think that's what I'll be doing every time I come here now, because you know, I can't really complain about that. It's my first carp from the water. So yeah, I'm going to have some dinner and probably a celebratory cider now, and I'll catch up to you guys in the morning. Right guys, the time is 10:20 and we've had another fish, so I'm well happy with that. Same spot and same rig, baits and tactics and everything, so it's obviously working. So I'll just quickly get it out and show you. There we go guys, that's £25 8 ounce common this time, absolutely made up, 2 fish, and we've still got 2 nights to go, so things are going well so far. It's very nice to settle the score with Yateley, Swan Valley, because I've blanked a few times here now, and it's quite a tough lake to be fair, but I've got lucky, found a fish on this session. Hopefully there's more to come. So yeah, £25 8 ounce on the Vitamino wafters like I showed you, just over that mix of bait. And I don't think I'm going to get the rod out again tonight because it's quite tricky to see what you're doing in the dark. So I might just get this fish back, get some sleep, and then be up early to do it all again tomorrow, and hopefully there's more to come. Well, good morning guys. Believe it or not, I actually wound in last night. After that common, it was absolutely hammering it down, and obviously pitch black because it was the middle of the night, and I just didn't fancy my chances getting that rod back out with all that rain, and you know, I just couldn't see where it was going. So I thought rather than spook the spot, get the rig in the wrong place and sort of waste time, I'd just leave the rod out and actually wind the other one in and get some sleep. And it is now sort of 5 o'clock, half 5 in the morning. just been back to the car to get some more bait and some more food and stuff, so I'm all kind of stocked up and ready. And I've just put a little bit more bait over the spot, so I'm just going to leave that for sort of half an hour or so and just let it settle, let the fish kind of get used to it being there. And then I'm going to try and get up the tree, see if I can see what's down there, and then try and get a rig out, and hopefully we can have a nice quick morning bite. I don't even know if the fish are still there at the moment. I've not been up the tree yet, but hopefully, because I didn't have a rod there and nothing was caught after that last one, they've had plenty of time to sort of feel safe again and come back in and sort of sit under the trees there. So that's the plan. Trying to be a bit different, you know, everyone's got the spots out in open water and they're just sitting on the rods, but I figured if I can just nick one fish at a time, I can build up a few fish over the 48 hours, you know, rather than just putting loads of bait in and maybe having one on the whole session or blanking, which is what I've done in the past. I thought I'd sort of build it up and just fish for a bite. My left-hand rod, I wound it in just because it was so heavy, the rain, it kept beeping on the alarms, and I couldn't get any sleep like that, you know, and I just wanted to just know that, because it's fairly sort of snaggy around here, I just wanted to know that everything was safe. The rods are lent up against the bivvy, and I got some sleep, and then I got up at sort of 5ish, and I haven't seen much actually, but I didn't go up the tree and have a look down, so there could be fish just sat there for all I know. But it's pretty flat calm today and the rain's kind of stopped, so it is a slightly different ball game conditions wise, but hopefully, you know, the fish are still going to be coming under the trees because it's a bit of sanctuary for them. So we'll have to see, guys, but I'm just going to get my right hand rod out now because that's the one that's been doing the bites, and then have some breakfast. So we'll see what happens, but I'm happy to have had those 2 fish already, even if I don't have anything else. It's a banging session, 43 pounder and a 25 pounder. Can't knock it, but I'm definitely going to do everything I can to have a few more. And later on today I'm going to have to go around the lake and do some photos and maybe put the drone up and everything, but for now we're going to be trying to catch another fish. Right, we've had another one. I've not been fishing all day today, but I put a bit of bait out earlier on in preparation. And I literally just got the rods out again half an hour ago. Similar to when I had the 40 yesterday. Seems like if you wait for the right moment, you can get them. There we go. Stunning old dark mirror. 28 pound exactly. Exactly the same spot and bait and everything. And I don't know what to say. This has turned into quite a session. I've had a 40 and 2 20s now. And I've still got the night to go, so happy days. That little Vitamino trimmed down wafter just hides from the fish and they don't know what they're picking up really. Rather than trying to make it stand out, a black bait is really tripping them up. So I'll get a couple of pictures and then I'll put it back, and I'll better get that rod back out because there might be a chance for another one. Well, more rain, guys, as you can probably hear. The weather's been really up and down the last couple of days. We've had really nice bit of sunshine here and there,
and then these downpours. But it does seem to be that when it's been raining, that's when I've been getting my bites. So I am hopeful it's a similar sort of time now to when I caught fish yesterday, and I did have that 28-pound mirror not so long ago. So yeah, it's looking good. But yeah, it's been a bit more slow today. There's not so many fish around in the area. Where yesterday there was maybe 20 different fish visiting that spot, I've only seen 1 or 2 today, so I feel quite lucky to have caught that 28 really. But there's not a lot I can do really differently, just waiting really and hope that one comes along. I did see a fairly big fish cruising by going towards my left hand spot earlier, so that's a good sign as well. But it does seem to be that most of the fish are under those right hand trees there. So yeah, we've got both rods out on the bottom, and we're sort of bivvy bound because of the weather. But yeah, hopefully there'll be another fish before it gets dark, and then I can make a decision on whether to leave the rods out overnight or not. It's a bit sketchy, and I probably won't be able to sleep if I've got the rods out. So after 3 or 4 nights on the bank, I could probably do with my sleep before I drive home to the Isle of Wight tomorrow. So I might wind in and get some sleep, and then get the rods out first thing in the morning, so that, you know, I'm resting the swim. I'll put a bit of bait out, and then hopefully in the morning there'll be some fish around, and I'll put the rods out while I'm packing up, and maybe nick one before I go home. So yeah, I'll make a decision on that later, guys. But yeah, for now we're just bivvy bound, and yeah, hoping for the best.
Right guys, it is 20 to 11 and I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but I've had another fish and it's the second 40 of the trip. I'm blown away. I've struggled on this lake the last couple of sessions, and now I've had 2 40s in one session, and this one was exactly 41 pound. It's a mirror, and it's absolutely stunning. Same spot and same tactics and everything. It's an unbelievable fish. I hope it behaves itself for you. There we go. That's 41 pounds. A slate grey Yateley mirror. It doesn't get much better than that, does it? Absolutely massive. Really dark coloured. Really leathery. Classic Yateley carp. I'm over the moon. On the little Vitamino wafter again, just trimmed down over that particle and boilie crumb mix with the liquid, and yeah, I'm glad I left the rods out now. I'll just show you the other side. There we go. Just blown away, guys. Absolutely blown away. I might leave that other rod out just in case, but if I don't have another fish, I don't really care. Look at the size of that, eh? 41 pounds. Really dark one. I better get some pictures and get it back in the lake. Come on, look at that. Well, morning guys.
And what can I say really? Just blown away by the last couple of days. I've really struggled on this lake when I've been down here before, but I have been working and filming quite a lot on those trips, and this one has been more about the fishing, to be honest with you. And I found the fish and got on them and just fish for a bite at a time really, rather than just putting loads of bait out and hoping the fish are going to move on to me. And it's paid off. I've had 2 40-pounders, I can't believe it. They're my first English 40-pounders actually. I've had upper 30s before, and I've had a 50 before, but I've never had a 40-pounder. So to have 2 of them is just the icing on the cake really, and I really feel like I've settled the score with this lake. And now that I've kind of got a tactic that I know works, hopefully the next few times I come down, if I'm lucky enough to get down here again, I'll have a good chance of more fish. So it doesn't always work like that, but I like to think once you've kind of sussed out a tactic that works on a lake, then you can kind of use that to your advantage, and all you've got to do is find the fish then really, isn't it? The bait works, the rig works, it's just down to location then. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'm really happy that I've now settled the score with this lake. I don't like blanking, and I don't like the fact that I hadn't yet caught from this lake, and I was fairly determined to keep coming until I had caught. But I will be back here again. If you've liked the video, please remember to subscribe and like the video, and leave me any comments, anything you want to ask me or anything like that, guys. I'm always happy to answer any questions. So yeah, thanks for watching it guys. Tight lines, and I'll see you in the next video.